up on their heels to demolish the cobweb of Pakistan-aided terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. Indian security forces launched a counter-terrorism operation last week, neutralizing the commander of Jaish-e-Mohammed in Shopian district of the Union Territory. This comes as a major setback to Pakistan, which has been desperately trying to hamper peace and harmony in the region, but has failed repeatedly in the past few weeks.
A counter-terrorism offensive aimed at wiping out Pak-backed terrorists from Jammu and Kashmir has gained fresh momentum with the killing of 2 terrorists of Jaish-e-Mohammed, including its commander Sajjad Afghani in the Shopian district. Earlier, another terrorist identified as Jahangir Ahmed Wani of Lashkar-e-Taiba was also neutralized during the same operation. A change in strategy of operations by Indian security forces since last year has yielded it big breakthroughs. They are attacking the core, the leadership of the groups. The killings of wanted terrorists like Hizbul commander Riaz Naiku, Lashkar commander Haider, Jaish commander Qari Yasir and Ansar Ghazwatul Hind Burhan Koka last year were the result of similar tactics.
Today is the culmination of the all-out operations that was started by the security forces against all these militants to ensure that Kashmir Valley is cleared of all Pakistan-sponsored militants who are operating there. Now, along with this, what has happened is, apart from the security forces, the population of Kashmir, they have risen against all these militants, and they are the ones who are informing the security forces whenever they find any militant amongst their midst in the houses, taking shelter in the houses or anywhere else. Earlier it was not so. This change of mindset of the Kashmiri population is very, very significant, because it is only after this change of mindset will the militancy be wiped out, because moment a militant enters any house to take shelter, the information is given to the Jammu Kashmir police, which in turn informs the security forces who come and carry out the operations.
Frustrated by repeated failure in carrying out large-scale terror attacks, Pak-backed terror groups are now adopting new tactics from other theatres like recruiting and radicalizing local youngsters, drones to drop weapons and drugs, tunnels for smuggling, and introducing sticky bombs in Kashmir. In the recent development in Pakistan's terror strategy, 2 aircraft-shaped balloons bearing the Pakistan International Airlines logo PIA was seized inside the border area of Jammu and Kashmir, raising suspicions about Pakistan's possible attempt to spy on India. Although last month, India and Pakistan agreed to maintain peace and observe a strict ceasefire along the line of control, on the security front, things are only deteriorating. The terror factories in Pakistan and along the Indo-Pak border in POK are continuing training modules and launch pads to push in terrorists in Kashmir. According to Indian forces, there are around 200 terrorists waiting in launch pads near the line of control to create havoc in the region.
अभी जो जहां पर 200 के करीब तादाद है टोटल जो टेररिस्ट इस वक्त एक्टिव हैं, और मुझे उम्मीद है कि जैसे पिछले साल उनकी गिनती पहले के मुकाबले में काफ़ी कम हुई है, इस साल और भी ज़्यादा कम हुई।
Pakistan-occupied Kashmir continues to be the safe haven for terrorists and extremists operating in the country. Not 1 or 2, but a large number of terrorist camps thrive here. The gullible youth is indoctrinated in these camps only and then asked to infiltrate and unleash mayhem in India. Thousands of Kashmiris have died in a proxy war orchestrated by Pakistan, and they continue to suffer due to terrorist groups patronized by the Pakistan military establishment. Kashmiri voices across the globe have urged the international community to take a serious note of Pakistan's atrocities on Kashmiris and have highlighted the use of terrorism by Islamabad as a foreign policy tool against them.
Next, in 1989, it unleashed a policy of death and destruction by exporting terrorism into the Kashmir Valley. To this day, the Pakistani military establishment continues to patronize dozens of terrorist groups. Thousands of Kashmiris have died in this proxy war orchestrated by Pakistan. Madam President, unless the Prime Minister is held accountable for his words and pressed to give independence to Pakistan-administered Jammu and Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan, parts of my land which Pakistan occupies, the trivialization of the Jammu and Kashmir issue will only be further encouraged.
Despite all the embarrassment and name-calling at various global forums, Pakistan continues to use terrorism as an instrument of its state policy. Pakistan's deep state, that is the army, has been indulging in malicious activities like infiltration and espionage to unleash mayhem in India. In a sophisticated world where the other countries are looking forward to establishing peace, harmony, and developing new technologies for the advancement of the world settlement, Pakistan's state policy of terrorism is causing violence and is creating an environment of distrust in the world.